How has the WeWork debacle helped or hindered your business? Have people come saying, how does your business model really work? Or have they said, this is a way to do it, profit, how novel?
Look, in short, it's been helpful. These guys, and I empathise with the problem they have at the moment, but they've done an unbelievable job over the past 2-3 years of shining a spotlight on this growing sector, which is underlying it all is a change in the way people work in a digital world, and more corporations want to use it. So, it's the right business, the right place, and the spotlight's helped. I think at the moment there's a flight to quality, because the one thing that corporations don't want is an unreliable partner for real estate, and certainly Workplace, if you're supplying everything from the IT service to the desks themselves, it's got to work. It has to be reliable.
So when you look at what WeWork was able to accomplish, I mean, they may have stumbled here towards the end, but for a period of time, at least from a marketing perspective, they were a juggernaut. And a lot of that was they were appealing to, as you kind of mentioned, sort of a different clientele or a different sort of generation who wanted something different from their office space. How has Regis sort of tried to sort of, I guess, adapt to that and sort of keep up with WeWork in that regard?
Well, I think, again, that's a misconception, really, of the sort of keeping up. We're in advance. We're the world's market leader in this space. We're multi-brand, so we're not one brand. Yes, we've got Regis, but we've also got Spaces, which is a cooler sort of co-work brand. We've also got Open Office, which is used by service engineers, very cheap and budget. So, we believe that this is a multi-brand market, very similar to hotels, different price points, different work styles, and that has been a successful strategy for us, which we've been continuing in the background. We're market leader here in the United States with over 1,000 buildings. We're in 120 countries worldwide. So, this whole phenomenon of outsourcing space is something that's happening everywhere.
I mean, it's worth spelling out the size and scale differences. You've got more than 3,000 locations, about 6 times WeWork. You've got more than 1,000 cities, 10 times WeWork. I'm interested in how you're carving your future. Franchising deals seems to be a way that you've been going. You say people have now been pivoting to a trusted partner. Do they feel that you're the trusted partner? How has the franchising model evolved when they are seeing more concerns about the WeWork place?
That's a really interesting question. I think, again, in order to achieve the goal, which is national coverage, every town, every city, every suburb, it has to be done with partners. Now, those partners, for us, are franchise partners. They're also building owner partners and investor partners. And that community, we've seen quite good outcomes from what's been going on. I think the situation...
As in WeWork has pulled out, they've not wanted to work with WeWork, so they've come to you instead?
Yeah, I think, look, it's clearer now as to what's going on. And I think that clarity has been very helpful. So, we've got a very optimistic outlook. Again, we're continuing with our strategy. And I think the situation in the future will become ever more clear. Sector's still very good. The growth is still very good within it. We're growing ourselves at about 15% each year, top line. As we start to add partners, that growth rate will pick up. That's why we're partnering. Use more balance sheets, not just our own. And that's worked very well with our investor base as well, who have marked up our
So the numbers do look
bit.
good. There's been a lot of chatter in the financial markets about a U.S. IPO of your U.S. business. Is that in the works?
It's not in the works.
Is it being considered?
We're considering lots of options. And, in terms of, we're in a growth industry, but it's our job as a public company to release value to our customer base, but also to our investors. And, at some point, there may well be something going on in the United States.
Sure.
Have you been offered any deals by landlords where they've pulled out of working with WeWork?
Look, it's a very competitive and fluid market. So the answer to that would be, of course, yes. This uncertainty has undermined, I think, some of the growth platform that they had. But again, our strategy is quite fixed, and we're not sort of reacting to what's going on. We carry on with a very disciplined approach to both growth and investment, And in particular, you know, as we see the world becoming perhaps next year a slightly more uncertain place, you know, it's not the time to be too aggressive.
Let's talk about that uncertainty, because we sit here as two Brits, and I'm interested by how much demand competition there is still in London. We have Brookfield, for example, still really focusing on that particular city. Have you seen any negative ramifications from Brexit?
It's a strange sort of situation in the UK. Our business, look, we've made it a little smaller in preparation for what might come, but the market there's still pretty robust at the moment. So we watch and wait. We expect it to be effective, but thus far, I think the uncertainty is helping us. We'll wait to see what the final outcome is to see the real effects, but it's sort of a lag effect. It's not there yet.